What's up, Internet? It's your dumbass Panicos Gaming, and we're not doing breeding today, even though that's what I have in my party, so let's get this swapped over. So today, we are going to do some Blissey raiding. So the latest event raid... latest event raid in Sword and Shield is for Blissey. It's actually a rerun of a previous one, but it's like new for this week, I guess. And then also, there's Typhlosion raids as well, but those aren't being repeated. Let's go ahead and save, just have this. Oh, I need to put booster energy on this. Blissey shouldn't be too bad. It has absurd, like absolutely absurd amounts of HP, and it has very good special defense. Basically negative physical defense, though. Where's my booster energy? It's one of these, isn't it? Am I insane? Oh, you know what? Hold on. It's probably on... Yeah, it's on them. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Save again with that on. Alright, and then we also need to connect online. Let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, I'm not expecting this to be too much of an issue tonight. But I do want to grind it a lot because it has a ton of Terra Shards. That's like the main reward. I really wish it wouldn't automatically pop up that screen every time. Like, it's not helpful for it to do that. I think if you do it in this screen is where you connect online, it doesn't automatically, like, pop up the news page. Alrighty. Took an awful long time to back out of that menu. Alright, you can see... Wow. Wow, there are a ton of raids. Some of these I think might be for Typhlosion, though. Or not Typhlosion, but the raids that get like packed in with Typhlosion are the 7 stars in general. Also, I guess they're just all up there because there aren't as many around. We'll check this just in case it's Ditto. I doubt it will be. I mean, it's only one of many possible spawns, right? But yeah, we're basically going to do the same thing that we did with Ditto in terms of just go around the map, encounter stuff, and then once we get through all the raids, we'll just do a date reset and do some more. Forget how long I went last week. I really don't have much of a time limit for how long I go tonight, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling in a couple of hours here. Okay, so this is a 7-star, or sorry, a 6-star, not a 6-star Ditto, so I don't care. So I wonder if some of these, God, I forget how I'm not quite sure how the game interacts with like when you have multiple event raids going on. I'm just not sure how the game interacts with that. Like, does it mean all the 5 stars are going to be Blissey, or is it going to be a mix of Blissey and the others? Well, that one's a Blissey, so we're off to a good start. Flying type, so this could be interesting. Never mind, we can just Thunder Punch it. I do want to like kind of see what strategies I want to do for this. It shouldn't be too hard because it is a 5-star. And for the most part, if I can just Drain Punch, I'm just going to do that. Does this still have Belly Drum? I'm trying to remember if I changed this build or not. I might have? I don't remember. But it should have like Belly Drum and then Close Combat, T-Punch, and Drain Punch. Not really worried about damage here, gonna be honest. Boost our energy for a good start. Electric Drain. Oh, I got rid of Close Combat. Well, that might not be too bad. Let's just see how much this does. Pretty good. Well, Seismic Toss isn't going to do, like, any damage to me, so that's nice. The big thing is this does have, there we go. Is that a crit? Nope. Just was a lot of damage. Nice. Yeah, if I don't have to Belly Drum, I'm not going to. I don't have any reason to catch these, really. I'm not going to do, so... It's not like Ditto where it's just like, you know, catch a bunch. Anyway, so you can see here, we got a whole lot of Terra Shards. Not sure what type, but I mean, it's a bunch of different ones. A bunch of candies as well. Fantastic rates for grinding. Kind of like Ditto. A little bit harder than Ditto. But, like, as you can see, not much. But yeah, if I don't have to use a Belly Drum, I won't, just because it's... if I'm going to knock it out in 2 hits anyways, why bother with Belly Drum, right? Yeah, I'll probably end up needing to actually sell items, but that's not a bad thing. I just want to, like, not necessarily max out my Terra Shards, but have a lot of each. It's not a mechanic I really care about, changing the Terra type. I've never really needed to do it. The only thing that I would have even considered it on was Annihilate for Typhlosion. And that was like, it wasn't a big deal, so... It might have, like, changed it a little bit. I don't know. We had pretty good luck with the Typhlosion, grinding that. But yeah, we'll just knock these out and get a lot of grinding done tonight. We will get back into breeding tomorrow. I do want to get it set up so I can collect eggs off stream and then just hatch them on stream, because the collecting eggs, not very interesting. In fact, about as uninteresting as it gets for video game content. Just Drain Punch, I guess. See what this does. Oh, that didn't do much of anything. Okay, we might actually have to Belly Drum for that then. Belly Drum. So if it's weak to the move that I'm going to use, then I don't need a Belly Drum. Otherwise, I probably should. Anyways, I think I skipped over saying this earlier. This thing actually has 2 different healing moves, which is a problem. It has, or it could be a problem. I haven't seen it using yet. It has Soft Boiled, and it has Heal Pulse. Now, it should get its shield up here, but, I mean, that's not really going to be an issue. We should do quite a bit of damage through it still. Oh, there's the Heal Pulse. How much does it get back? Oh, wait, it uses that on me? So it can't self-target with Heal Pulse? Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. You would think with how much I play these games, I would know how the moves work. There's Soft Boiled. How much health does it get back? Okay. I was worried it would get, like, all of its HP back. Or, like, you know, half of the HP bar. Not all of the HP, obviously. You only get half from those moves. But I wasn't sure if it was going to be half of the original HP or half of the raid boosted HP. Fortunately, it's just the original. Now that could be really annoying. Never mind, that's not too bad. But yeah, normally Drain Punch would just be like very easy way to go with this, right? Because it's a normal type and it has you know, again, it has 10 defense. That's its base defense stat. Not good. But there we go. A lot of stuff. God, we're getting a lot of XL candies. You love to see it. But yeah, the thing is, because of the Terra types, it doesn't really matter. But assuming those first two there are signs of a pattern, all of these glowing raids that aren't the 7-star should be Blissey raids. We'll see. I think that's how it works, but I'm not 100% sure. That's shiny, also hi. Welcome back in, Baines. Glad to see you again. Fortunately, no shiny hunting tonight, but, well, I think it's possible for the Blissey to be shiny, but it's 1 in 4,000 odds, so I'm not going to bet on it. Do I have a shiny Blissey? I don't think I do. I think I, like, intentionally didn't evolve one of my Happenings that I've gotten, just because it was like, oh, it's a friendship evolution, so it's a pain in the ass. I should double check what shiny Blissey looks like. I think it's a fairly obvious one though, right? Isn't it just like green? Maybe not. I'll check right after this raid, just so I can know. Alright, so we're gonna belly drum, just so we can get a lot of damage. And it's not like this thing can do much damage. I don't remember what his other attack besides Seismic Toss is. Yeah, so that's interesting that it has Heal Pulse, so it can heal you instead of just healing itself as well. That's awesome. There we go. You like to see it. It used Heal Pulse, and I guess it would have said it didn't do anything, right? So they must have used down one of my AI partners. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Nice damage through the shield, but soft-boiled can actually, like, do something there. It must have soft-boiled there, even though I didn't say it did. Oh, raids. Just as glitchy as always. But they did fix the issue with, if you, when the 1.2 update came out, if you joined an online raid before updating to 1.2 and tried to do the Walking Wake or the Iron Leaves raids, it would actually, when you would catch them, you would get a bad egg instead of the Pokemon, which I guess is just like what the game defaults to when it doesn't know what Pokemon it's actually supposed to give you, or something like that. So they did fix that with the 1.3 update, where apparently if that did happen to you when they rerun that event, starting at the beginning of May, it should let you catch it. Should. We're actually not sure if maybe they might have screwed it up too and everyone will be able to catch it. I doubt it, honestly. But maybe. We'll see. Or everyone will be able to catch it, as in, if you caught it in the first time they ran the event, you're not supposed to be able to catch it a second time, but if they screwed it up, maybe we will be able to. We'll just have to see. Let me see here real quick. Oh, did I misspell Blissey? Oh my god. I was wondering. Oh, it's just lighter. Ew, that's going to be hard to tell. Okay, updated title. Whoops. Not a big deal. It's not like I put a completely different Pokemon there, right? Yeah, so it looks like these are all just gonna be Blissey, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. Because again, the Typhlosion Raid event is actually still going on this weekend as well. If you didn't get it last weekend. And those, usually it has a couple different like 5-star Pokemon that are included with that. The point, or the idea being that you get the 5-star Pokemon to be able to use against Typhlosion, but it's not very good. So you're never going to want to do that. I'm just going to Drain Punch out right here. Yeah. I guess we could have one-shotted it with Belly Drum, but I don't care enough. That's pretty good damage there. How much are we going to do through the shield? Half of it. That's pretty good. Well, let's take it out all the way. Yep, there we go. I think we only got there because of the AI, but hey, we got there. I suppose it's not a bad idea to Belly Drum anyways, because there is really no risk with this. I do want to see what the other move for Blissey is. Because I know, oh, Last Resort. Is that literally the one that only after it's used every other move? Okay, so, yeah, never mind. Pretty much just always, always Belly Drum. Because I don't think I'm going to do enough to one-shot it without Belly Drumming. And it'll help with stuff where, like, you know, I just need to get through the shield. Or whatever. Again, there's like no risk. It's only damaging move they'll ever actually use is Seismic Toss, which will only do 75 damage. I am glad it spawns so many of these. Definitely makes it nice, so I'm not constantly having to change the date. Okay. I should remember to save after this one, though, just to be safe. Again, these raids are a little glitchy at times, to be generous. I've never had it, like, crash because of a raid, but I think I've only had the game crash once. So I've just kind of been lucky in that regard. Oh, because it's ground type, right? But yeah, I think when I can, I want to use Thunder Punch, for sure. If I was smart, I would go put Close Combat back on it. I should see how hard that is to do after this. I mean, I don't really need it. But also, like, that would have been a one-shot there with Close Combat, so I kind of do need it. But this should be the rest of its health, even with the shield up. Oh, wow. Okay. Did it wipe stats? Or I thought it just put the shield up. Maybe it did. I tend to not actually pay that much attention. We can check real quick. I can confirm. I just figured even with the shield up, it should be doing... No? Huh. It took out, like, 2/3 or 3/4 of its health in one hit, but then with the shield up, it didn't even like do much. I know the shield is like really resistant. Jesus Christ! I just started streaming 20 minutes ago. It's already too late. I actually started earlier than I have been on a Friday and Saturday though. I was starting at 1. I would have started at midnight tonight, but I got out of work later than I should have because we had a problem child come in. We'll call him that. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, but it's someone that my work has had issues with in the past, as in, like, tell them to leave and do not ever come back, or we're calling the police type issues. That makes it sound actually worse. It's more just they were generally just a problem and had to be told to leave multiple times, and so we told them to not ever come back. Under the assumption that at that point they're trespassing, so we'll call the police. But I don't think we ever actually said that to them. But yeah, it's happened a couple times with them. The dude disappears for like a few years. And then I think he goes, oh, well, you know what? I know they told me to never come back, but probably no one still works there. That was from then. And he's done that a couple times. So I had to like call my boss and be like, hey, so what are we doing with this? Because Numbnuts is back. I just like made everything weird because it's just like fucking goddamn it. And of course the GM doesn't actually want to like handle it because, you know, he's not on the clock, and also it's just drama that he would have to deal with. But also you're the GM, that's part of your fucking job. Yeah, I don't know. Weird day. It just sucked because like I was on pace to probably have like gotten out of work within like a few minutes of closing, which rarely happens. Usually it's at least like 20 or 30 minutes. But then that happened, and then everyone was just like off pace because of it, and it's just like, god damn it. I didn't end up actually getting out of there until like 11:45. It's like, god damn it, man. It was such a slow night all night. I had to say something. I messaged someone, I was like, yeah, I'm bored because it's slow. Oh, why did I open my big, fat, stupid fucking mouth? Oh, it's frozen. Nice. Love to see it. I should drain punch here so I don't die. I didn't even think about that. I wonder how much that's going to give me back. Should be most, right? Yeah. Even that little chunk of the bar, being that it's a Blissey. Blissey has a HP stat, a base stat of 255, so, you know. It's a little bulky. It just has basically negative physical defense. But yeah, against a special attacker, Blissey is just like an absolute wall. It makes me think of the thing that if Shuckle ever gets an evolution, you'll be able to use Eviolite on Shuckle, and Shuckle's like quirk is that it has like the highest defense and special defense stats of any Pokemon, I think. Or it's like way up there. Certainly more. Oh, there we go. So yeah, most of these raids will give you like a bunch of different shards and then a bunch of candies, but a couple of them are set up that they give you just pure shards. So you'll get 19 shards, or sorry, you'll get 9 shards out of the 18 possible types, and then also the one that you're for the Terra that it currently is. But you won't get any candies on those ones. Usually it's just like 2 or 3 different types of Terra Shards. I forgot to put close combat on. Let me do that real quick while I'm thinking about it. Check summary. Should be able to do it from here. Remember move. There we go. You don't need electric terrain. I'm trying to remember what that was for. Was that for... Might have been for Walking Wake. Which is interesting because that's the one that's about to be coming up. For event raids. Are coming up again. I think I did that because it, like, helped clear something. Maybe not. I don't remember exactly. I just remember it being helpful for something. There's a reason why I needed to do that. And I think after this raid, we'll check how much we've got for items. How far are we going here? If that's the wrong button. Come on. Yeah, let's go here. Why did I not do that the first time? It is a little wonky to do that because I'm going to have to climb up a hill, but if I had fast traveled in the first place, it would have been fine. Oh, it's the metal evolution of the Minecraft Pokemon. Come on. Thank you. Alright. I would assume close combat would work better than Drain Punch. I'll look at what the base power difference is. I would think close combat is like double at least the base power. I can't imagine Drain Punch being more than 120 or being more than 60. And close combat is 120. Let's see. Let's see, 120. Oh, 75. Wow, really? I didn't realize it was that good. Yeah, we'll just belly drum in close combat. I'm pretty sure for this, close combat doesn't matter at all. Even if, like, when you get hit by a seismic toss, I don't think it gets more damage with that because seismic toss is just a straight up damage amount. It's just based on the level of the Pokemon using it. So it doesn't take into effect stat up or stat downs. Also, that helps. Thanks for the free heal pulse. There we go. They didn't even do the animation for the shield going down. You love to see it. But yeah, not catching these, there's no reason to catch them. It's not like Ditto where it's like, yeah, I'll surprise trade. Like, there's no point in doing it on this. Blissey isn't really that useful. I'm sure it has some competitive use, but for the most part, the main focus of these raids, just with the way that Game Freak has them set up, is it's just for getting a bunch of Terra Shards, which is fine. Climb up here. I was just checking those Fido, make sure there wasn't a shiny or something. Still need to remember to save, still need to remember to check my items just to see where I'm at, because I already have gotten quite a bit, I would think. I don't think I'm anywhere near maxed out on Terra Shards. I would be extremely surprised if I am. But my candies might be pretty high already. Funny how this is probably like the one time that I don't want to see Intimidate, because it doesn't do anything. It's not helpful, so it's just extra animation time. So I think Thunder Punch is my best bet here, being that close combat is half damage because of typing. Just do it again. That kind of sucks, but once I terrestrialize him, you know, I'll be hitting it pretty damn hard. I think even without Terra, this should take it out. Take out the shield, that is. I think it'll still take one more hit after that. But like without Belly Drum, this would definitely take a lot longer. I wanted to just maybe try and cheese it without Belly Drum, but it's just foul. Oh, that's a lot more than I expected. Lots of candies. You'll love to see it. You also get a lot of rare candies as well. That's another nice thing. Let's go ahead and check those items real quick. Just make sure I'm not too close to being full. Nowhere near. That's a good chunk, and that's a decent chunk. So that's the only thing that's even close. Like I said, I'd be extremely surprised if we're filled up on Terra Shards and any typing yet, so I'll just check those after I reset the raids, so I can do another set of them. I think fighting's going to do some mean things here. Also remember to save while I'm here. I think I'm just gonna try close combat and just see what happens. I don't think I even need a belly drum for this. I hope I don't need to, otherwise this is gonna be embarrassing. Honestly, I almost wish I could do this without any AI partners. I feel like it would be faster, because again, like the text box and the animation for Intimidate or whatever, just like waste time. Okay, so we still need a close combat. Yeah, I mean, we still need a belly drum. That was a crit. And it still did over half, but I mean, that's not great. And that's gonna shield. Is it gonna softball? Oh, I might need to just close combat, or not. Again, not close combat. Belly drum, anyways. I don't know if we can damage enough through that. And if it doesn't soft boil, then we're fine. I know it doesn't have many uses of that, but... Well, there it is. It got a big chunk of HP back again, so I think it did. There we go. That's better. And down it goes. That reminds me, I really need to finish messing with my alerts, because I do want to use some of the Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 announcer sound bites, because they're just like, they're pretty good, because they're just like, they're so over the top, and that there is one like that. I don't think I would use that one, but it just reminded me of doing that. There was one I found that was, or a few that I found that are pretty good. I do really like. Sorry, I was just messing with the something. Okay. Okay, so there's one up there and over there. So let me hit... this is kind of annoying how they're spread out. Oh, I hate coming over to this too, because getting out of this passage is a pain in the ass. Let me just go back to Medali. I think it'll actually be faster to get there than trying to find my way out of that cavern. It's like where the Pokemon Center is at the bottom of like a hole, and you have to go up like some winding paths to get out. It's kind of a neat area. So yeah, you like cut through the mountain here, or if you're like at the top of the mountain, there's a spot where you can actually like fall down to get to it, but just trying to get out sucks, because it's a lot of like overhangs and stuff, so you can't even necessarily climb up quickly. You can't just like cheese it and climb up the wall. You have to actually use the paths a little bit. Alright. But yeah, these raids are not very difficult. Again, it's like Ditto. They're very easy to cheese. It's a 5-star. At least it's somewhat interesting to do. It was for a while. The pattern was that they would have the 7-star raid and then some like version exclusive raids as a 5-star the next weekend, and then the 7-star would come back and then you have a different like 5-star raid. But it wasn't until Blissey that like any of the 5-stars were really interesting. And this is only interesting because of like the loot drops, right? Alright, we will have to T-punch here. Do not have a choice in the matter. Literally cannot hit it with fighting type moves. If we had a Pokemon with Guts, we could, I think. Right? Guts lets you... I believe Guts lets you hit Ghost type with normal and fighting type moves. I want to say that's the ability. I know there's an ability that does that. We don't have a good way to heal here. But we can take at least one more hit. That should heal me a little bit. Okay, never mind. There's the heal pulse. Oh, no, it didn't use it on me. Damn it. Oh, there we go. No, that's just from the terrain. But actually, that might be enough just by itself. There we go. That should heal me. Yep, okay, we're good again. I love that they gave it a healing move. It's like they know that this raid is going to be a pushover, so they just make it even easier for you. I wonder if there's... I don't know if there's even an easier move set that they could have given it, honestly. Without it being, like, obviously not useful. Like, I'm sure they could have given it tackle, right? But, like, you know, of actual moves that you could potentially have on a Blissey. Because, like, Heal Pulse could be useful in a double battle. It's just not when it's the only raid Pokemon. Lots of Ghost Shards, nice. It's the one that I needed for Annihilate, but I didn't have, even though I did have afterwards, because we grinded on Typhlosion and got a whole bunch. Okay, let me go ahead and go down here, do this one, then we're gonna cut back up. And, like, hit this one, and then probably come back over here and hit this one, and then come down. Actually, no, we'll skip over here. Anyways, yeah, these are kind of, like, laid out awfully. Could be worse. At least it's a lot of them, right? Oh, we're definitely not going to make it on this glide. It really sucks how nerfed the movement options are from Legends Arceus. Like, somehow the climbing got worse, and Sneasler was kind of annoying to use. Gliding is just straight up worse. Oh, Normal Terra, nice. Because it used to be you could just glide for, you know, you would slowly lose altitude, but you could glide for as long as you wanted to within that. But now, like, after a few seconds, you start descending even faster, and eventually you just lose all speed. I guess there's an Ursaluna, which is a step up, because Ursaluna was just not enjoyable to use. Both in that, like, the treasure hunting thing was, like, not really useful once you got the item to actually get your own Ursaluna. But it was weird, because when you were, like, running in the correct direction, it would speed up. But, like, it made it super awkward to use, because you would speed up, but only when looking in that exact direction. But it wasn't like a proximity type thing, so it could be on the other side of the map. And every time you'd have to turn to go around something, it just, like, it got really screwy. Alright, is this gonna be one shot? There we go, that's a one shot. Nice. I mean, technically not, because the team did a little bit of damage, but I bet it still would have done enough. Yeah, I don't know. I do kind of feel like maybe in terms of movement, Koraidon and Miraidon are actually a little bit better than Weirdeer. Especially Miraidon. I really liked riding around on that thing. Just the fact that it, like, moved smoothly instead of, you know, actually, like, moving with its legs. It just literally has tires. I feel like just the smoothness of it is so much nicer. Yeah, what was the other movement as well? Oh, the water. Yeah, actually, maybe movement in water is better. Basket Legion was kind of a... Well, I don't know. It's weird to compare them because there's no catching from, like, without battling, right? You can't just throw a Pokeball at it in the wild. At the Pokemon you want, that is. And that was, like, awful to do in Legends Arceus from the water. And there's also there's kind of, I don't know. I think that's just better. So maybe I'm a little bit too harsh about the movement. They got it like half right. It's just that the other half is just like, come on. Especially with the gliding. The gliding is so, like, intentionally nerfed, and it's just sad. Because there's no real reason to do that other than just to make movement be more annoying. But I want to say that's the last thing you get is gliding, so like that should also just be good. And at that point, you know, you've already done a bunch of exploring, so just like make it easier to explore quickly. That's how I feel about it anyways. Oh, was that a crit? That wasn't a... Wow. So that normal type one absolutely would have been one-shotted. Because that wasn't even a super effective attack. And that did a lot. Love to see it. Yeah, definitely if you can. If you need XP candies or Terra Shards, do these raids. Very easy to do if you have an Iron Hands. Any Pokemon that's like high special or high physical attack, high HP is gonna be fine, honestly. Especially, yeah, like a Jumaril would be good. Anything with Belly Drum and enough HP to get at least one hit off. You might have to use a Shell Bell, but with how much HP this Blissey is going to have, even a Shell Bell is going to heal a ton on a hard hit. Oh, FPS, please. Let's go down this way. Maybe if we get closer to the ground, it won't spawn as much stuff, and so it won't lag as much. Or, like, spawn as much, stuff deep into the background. For some reason, that Cubchoo made that Crabrawler look very different. That Terra Pokemon there skipped around for a moment. That was weird. Like I was just looking at it and then it skipped kind of closer towards the tree. Alright, poison type. Does poison resist fighting? I don't think so, right? I don't think it resists electric for sure. Once again with the useless Intimidate. Oh, it does resist fighting. Okay. I kind of thought it did, but I wasn't sure. I'm a little surprised they didn't give this Blissey Terra Blast instead of Last Resort. Last Resort is like so not useful for it. You should never get to a point where it's even going to be using Last Resort. Because again, that's the thing with Last Resort is I think it does a crap ton of damage. But like, you can only use it if you have no other moves remaining. Let me see. What is it? Yeah, 140 base power, normal type, physical attack. But you can't have any other remaining moves to use. You have to use up all of your moves. Which I'm sure there are some niche cases where that's a useful move. fact, I wonder if that is a move on Pawmot or Rabska, I believe. The one that evolves from Rowler. Basically, the two Pokemon that have Revival Blessing, which is a one-use move. You can only use it one time before it's out of moves. So if either of those can use that move, that would actually be a not bad pairing. Or at least probably the best possible pairing, right? Because you use your Revival to get another Pokemon back, and then you use your other moves, and if somehow you survive long enough, then you can hit them with the Last Resort. That being said, I don't think there's many points in competitive where a Pokemon is going to survive long enough that Last Resort is going to be of any use, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, you know what I just thought of? There's no, like... Or is there any sort of, like, roach or cockroach or any sort of Pokemon like that? Because I would definitely be the dumb motherfucker that would name that thing like Papa Roach and then only have its one move be Last Resort. And just go into, like, online battles and just use that. That'd actually be pretty fun. I should look into that. I don't think there is a Pokemon that is really good for that, though. There's like a couple of like beetle Pokemon that might work, but I don't think there's like a cockroach Pokemon, which is probably for the best because cockroaches are fucking horrifying, but... I mean, there's also plenty of spiders in this game, although, to be fair, the spiders usually aren't like creepy looking. So I don't know, maybe they could figure something out. I feel like it could be fun one day to like hop into online and just like use a meme team. Or not even like a complete meme even, but like try and run an evolution team or something. I just see like how bad I am. But the thing is, I know I'm gonna get very bored of losing every single battle very quickly. So either I'd have to set up a couple different teams, or it'd have to be like reasonably, you know, fun to use. Or like reasonably useful, rather. So I can justify doing that. Maybe one day, we'll see. I've mentioned a number of times about possibly like not really competitive, like casual stuff. Casual online battles. But I just never get around to actually doing it. Honestly, because I just don't do much online in terms of games anyways. I say as I'm streaming a game, but that there's a difference between streaming and like actually playing with other people. But yeah, like online multiplayer, I very rarely do anymore. Because it's not worth the frustration most of the time, man. Even in stuff that's like co-op, depending on the game, it's just like not worth it. Like, I think maybe if we got like a new Mass Effect multiplayer that has like the Mass Effect 3 mechanics, not the Mass Effect Andromeda mechanics. I won't say I hated Mass Effect Andromeda, but especially what it did to multiplayer, I was not happy about. Because, like, Mass Effect 3, you have to learn the maps. Like, you know, you have to learn them a little bit. Yeah, you have to learn how to kite Pokemon, or, kite Pokemon in Mass Effect. Shit gets real weird in that series. I'm surprised Nintendo never sued them. No, but you have to learn how to kite the enemies and stuff. You know, it's not like I don't like learning. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like hard to learn. It's just you have to play it a little bit. You have to have some experience, so you know that like how you're gonna run around the map to not die and stuff. Mass Effect Andromeda, you have a jump pack, so you literally just go wherever the fuck you want on the map, pretty much. And the thing that was so great about Mass Effect 3 is that the map design mattered, right? Because again, you couldn't just like jump around wherever. You were confined to the pathways that you had available to you, which is just like part of what made it so interesting and fun. And yeah, but then Andromeda, because you could just like go around wherever, it like kind of negated that, both in that you can go around wherever, so you can, it's almost like you can always flee from danger in a way, but also the enemies also can just like jump around wherever for the most part. And yeah, I didn't like it. I would love to maybe see like the unique weapons from Andromeda added to Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, but I didn't care about Andromeda multiplayer. I didn't care about Andromeda as a game, really. It was like a very mediocre open world game. Like, it wasn't bad, it just it's a saying that is really stupid most of the time to say, but it's not a bad game, it's just a bad X game. X as in, like, you know, insert title here. Like, if I was to say this isn't a bad game, it's just a bad Pokemon game, it's like that. But it is really like that. It's just, it hurts that it's called Mass Effect, because if it was just like any other open world game, you'd be like, yeah, it's fun, you know, play it if you got some time to spare on it. There's plenty to do. The combat isn't bad, although it does lose a lot from Mass Effect. Again, talking about the single player, not the multiplayer. Even the multiplayer isn't bad. It's just, again, it loses so much from the previous games. Yeah, it's nothing too special, which is a shame. I was very hyped for that game. I actually never even finished it, though part of that was I like took a short break from it, and then there was an update to it at one point. And the update broke the UI, where basically all of the UI elements were vertically, they were fine. They were like all at the correct like at where they should have been on the like vertical axis, but horizontally they were all compressed into the middle. So like the mini map in the bottom right and like that box, the text box that was just in the top right, those would have been dead center in the screen, still, like, so that, you know, the mini map would still be at the bottom, but horizontally it would be dead center, and all of it was like that, so it was all just mushed together. And I was like, glad you guys updated this game, you know. I really needed that, and I never went back to it after that. I should go back to it at some point, just so that I can say I've completed all the Mass Effect games. And it is on Game Pass. Well, it's on EA Play, which is part of Game Pass, or you get as part of having Game Pass, however the correct term for that is. So I could get Xbox achievements for it, but no, actually, let me take it back. You don't get Xbox achievements for that. That's right. If you play it on Xbox, you do, but not on PC, which is where I play it anyways. But, I mean, I still need to go through Legendary Edition again, so, or at all. Go through the trilogy again in Legendary Edition. That's kind of how I meant to say that. Nope, that's not what I want. Close combat. But yeah, I don't know. God, I love Mass. I hope the next Mass Effect is good. Again, Andromeda, the most disappointing part was that it was just okay, so it probably wasn't going to get better. Like, when a game is completely busted, there's always that hope that, like, okay, well, it's so bad they almost have to go fix it, right? Not they really ever do. That happens pretty rarely, but, you know, there's like that hope. But if it's just mediocre and everyone's like, yeah, it's okay, they're not going to do anything with it. it'll get a couple minor like bug fixes, but that's about it. It won't get any major overhauls. But there is another Mass Effect, like, in the actual, a continuation for Mass Effect 3 being made. So I guess Mass Effect 4. Technically, Andromeda does take place in the same timeline, but the way it's set up, it really is its own, like, complete separate thing. Like, it pretty much is a spin-off title. Thank God. If it was like, if it felt like a main entry, I'd be even more disappointed with it. But yeah. One day I'll get back to it. It's just that, it's the issue of the open worldness. Like, it's not like Mass Effect 1 where, like, oh yeah, you drive around the worlds, but there's, like, a couple little things to do. It's very much like, hey, it's a big open map for each of the planets, and by the way, there's like 8.3 million things to do on every map. Have fun. It's like, cool. It'd be a shame if we could have just like had a decent story-driven game, but no, we need another fucking open world game. But again, it's not bad. It's just disappointing. I don't know. It could be fun to go back to it on PC again, because that was the other thing. Like, the other Mass Effects I had always done on PlayStation, and that one I was like, you know what? It's the beginning of a new trilogy. Or not a new trilogy, but like, you know, it's separate from the main trilogy. Let's just play on PC. And if I feel like going back to it to get all the achievements, then I will. Or going back to it on PlayStation to get all the, not achievements, but trophies, anyways. But yeah, that I didn't even finish the game, so what does that tell you? I actually did buy it on PS4 eventually, like a few years later, with the intention of I was going to do that, go get all the achievements. I'm just gonna call them achievements. It's achievements. It's all the same shit. And then I think I did actually play like the tutorial mission again, and I just never got past that because it wasn't really like an urgent thing that I cared about. But yeah, I don't know. It's actually a couple games like that. Like, I bought Nier Automata because I think it might have been on sale. I don't remember. It might not have been. I might have paid full price for it. But I intended to play through that. Never did. I didn't get past the intro mission. And unfortunately, I never actually got around to it while it was on. Oh, okay. Just the HP bar is glitched. That was confusing. I was like, wait, how did I do so little damage? I did more. It just didn't show it. But yeah, Automata was on Game Pass. And I was like, oh, I should do that. Because apparently the Game Pass version on PC is, like, better than the Steam version. Because the Steam version has some issues that never got patched. Good job, Square Enix. But then, yeah, it you know, eventually, some games anyways, they eventually fall off of Game Pass. But it's just like, god damn it. Was I continue? No, they didn't. Never mind. I thought there was another one over here that was glowing. I guess not. But yeah, I mean, I still need to finish so much stuff right now. I'm still working on American Truck Sim. You're going to learn a lot of things from me talking about these games, by the way. Specifically, my, like, propensity, if I'm even using that word correctly, if that's even a word. I should probably stick to what I know. Anyways, but games that are just, like, mindless kind of nonsense. I play a lot of those, which I guess might not be too surprising. I do shiny hunting all the damn time, too. But yeah, ATS I'm still working on right now. I want to try and get all of the Texas DLC stuff done before Oklahoma comes out. I did figure out limiting the frame rate on that, so I can actually, like, stream it, because normally it just goes to whatever. It'll just go as high as it wants to, which in the menu is... Ooh, it shoots way up, and the thing is, it just uses all your GPU. And since the V2 software stuff also uses your GPU, that's kind of a problem. But now that I can, now that I figured out using, like, Rivatuner, I think is the program. The thing that I think you're probably supposed to install with MSI Afterburner, but I, like, never actually did. But that has a way to just limit the frame rate in 3D applications. So I can just pinch it down to 60 and not, like, destroy my GPU. But yeah, that I'm working on. Car Mechanic Sim I'm still working on. That one's going to be a long grind on that. That's another one that I would like to maybe have as like an occasional game on stream. But we'll see about that. I'm a lot less committed to that one, I'll be honest. And then... so those are on Steam, and then on Game Pass, I still have Power Washing Sim. Again, you might be noticing a trend here. But that I still need to, like, finish someday. And also, Hard Space Shipbreaker, which is a game that I actually finished last year. And then right after I finished it, they updated it and added a bunch more achievements. And for some reason, my save didn't carry over from the previous time that I played it. Or it didn't carry over all the way. It was weird. It, like, started up from, like, a level or two after the tutorial levels. Or, like, I guess it does tutorials for quite a while, to be honest, because it keeps on adding new mechanics. But, like, it was, like, 4 or 5 missions in. But I had beaten the game before. I had gotten all the achievements, so I don't know what happened. And, God, that game is a slog. And it has one really annoying mechanic with it, with the decompression stuff, where, like, some compartments of the ship will be pressurized. Which by itself is fine. I don't mind, you know, trying to figure out how am I going to go about tearing this thing apart. What I hate is that sometimes the like, pressure regulator, we'll call it, I forget the exact name, will just be broken. Which means the only way to depressurize it is to just either open a door or cut open a wall, which usually you're fine if you just open a door. It just, like, you know, it kind of freaks out, but it's not going to damage anything. If you just cut open a wall, it explosively decompresses and a bunch of shit gets destroyed. And the entire point of that game is to destroy as little as possible, basically, so that way you can you get credits from everything that you salvage. But if you destroy it, you don't salvage it, right? At least for much. I think you can still get a couple credits, but I mean, it's like a couple credits instead of 10,000. So yeah, there's just, like, some of them where it's like, yeah, there's no correct solution. And it's just like, that's not fun. Like, I like puzzle games. I cannot stand a puzzle game that doesn't have a solution. That's just awful gameplay. And I really do think of that game as basically a puzzle game. Because it's like, okay, how do I tear apart this ship while destroying as little as possible? And usually you don't have to destroy much of anything. Usually there's, like, a couple of parts that, like, well, so there's the cut points, which you don't get any money from anyways. And then usually there's, like, a couple of things that get destroyed, but it's, like, minor little things. But, like, yeah, it just, I don't know. Sometimes the compression stuff just, there's no way around it. You just have to get screwed. And that is not my favorite way to play a video game. And also, it's like, especially when you get to the end game, it's just a bunch of doing like the same couple of ships over and over again, basically. Because they're randomly generated, so they'll have different stuff about them, and you know, different things will be pressurized, for instance, but they'll have different like setups, even if it's the same core ship, but at the end of the day, it's still the same core ship. It's another game I might play on stream one day. That would definitely be like a one and done, just because I can barely stand playing a lot of the time, but I'm also like half committed to going back and getting. I'm so upset about them adding achievements, especially because a lot of the achievements are like just more achievements added during the story, and it's just like, what the hell? Why? Like, you shouldn't ever do that. Thanks. And maybe it's stuff that would have retroactively unlocked, but there is one where on the final like story mission, there's a choice that you have to make, and there's an achievement for each choice. So it like, you basically have to save before that, and then do it, then reset, and then do it the other way. Specifically, I think you have to do it the like the bad way first, and then go back and redo it. Which, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's also not like, not great. But yeah, and then on top of that, I still have like Mass Effect to play. Plus working on my shiny hunts, and I mean, realistically, I got a backlog, probably a couple hundred games long, but most of those are games that I've just come to accept I will never get around to. Like, I would love to go back and play through, like, the PS1 era Final Fantasies again. Play through 7, 8, and 9. Specifically 7 and 8. I think 7 I actually would probably be fine doing the remake, because I don't have that much love for it. But, like, even just going back to 8, which is a game that I just have an unhealthy amount of nostalgia for. Just, like, that's such a long playthrough, man. I would be kind of tempted to do it on stream as, like, doing the, kind of the cheesy way to do it, where you do very few random battles, and you just, like, abuse the card mechanic system, which is a whole discussion into itself that I'm not getting into right now. But basically, because of the way that game is set up, the more you level up, the harder the game will actually get, because it does have level scaling with the enemies. But there's a way to increase your stats without leveling up, and so you can have basically maxed out stats but still be at like level 5, which is hilarious and I love, but also like, it's a very weird way to play it, because you have to play the card mini game a whole hell of a lot. Maybe I shouldn't say that. You don't necessarily have to play it a lot, but you have to interact with that, with the cards a lot, I'll just say. I love that game, though. Mostly because it was like my first big game, and it's the first game that I think was big and I like had any understanding of what the hell was going on. Like, I had played Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Crystal before that, but I didn't know what the hell was happening. I just had cute animals that I was making fight other cute animals for money. By the way, did you know my real name is actually Michael Vick? And sorry, that was a bad joke. Also, that cough was probably very loud. I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, I need to check my items after this. But yeah, like, I didn't really know what the hell was going on with the Pokemon games when I played them. Whereas Final Fantasy VIII, I was at least old enough to pay attention to reading, usually. And, like, the battles and stuff were, like, so cool looking and all that. It was just, like, completely blew my mind. But yeah, like, that's just one of those games where, like, I want to go back to it. I want to play through it again, because I just love it so much, but don't have time for those long-ass RPGs. I have to spend 40 hours looking for a differently colored Pokemon. How am I going to find enough time to play a JRPG? Yeah, we'll see how far or how long we go tonight. Speaking of, like, not having time. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of go until I don't feel like going anymore, which is, maybe a weird way to put that, but it's just, I don't really have anything else to do tonight. I got plenty of time to stream, so I'm just going to stream. I am still chasing affiliate, which is part of that. But yeah, I want to see what happens. We're getting plenty of items. This is not hard at all. But at least something is happening on screen, unlike the breeding. I am, after stream tonight, going to get all that stuff set up so I can just kind of collect Pokemon off stream and then just hatch them on screen. Back. Let's see here. We got a good amount more of those, at least 100 more than the last time I checked. A pretty damn good number of Terra Shards. Not worried about having too many, and there are a couple. Fire and, what's the other one? I saw another. Fire and Fairy. We don't have enough yet even for, like, one type change, which is interesting. I definitely want to have at least enough to do one type change of each type. Ideally, like, I would like to have, like, hundreds of each, but I'm not going to go that long tonight. This is fun, but it's not that fun. But also, I mean, again, this is like, I've never used the type changing for Terras. Or changing your Terra type. I've used, like... anyways. Part of that is, again, it's just the materials are rare and expensive to... It's expensive to actually, like, change it. Because you need 50 shards of whatever type you're trying to change to. Which is a lot. Normally you get, like, a couple shards per raid. But it's... you know... Also, it's just, I haven't really had a need for it yet. Again, the only time that I would have used it was Annihilate for Typhlosion. And that wasn't even like I needed to use it. It was just, if I was going to have trouble, I would have needed to. And I didn't have any trouble with it, so... mostly. I shouldn't say didn't have any. We did fail a couple of Typhlosion raids. But, I mean, at least 80, probably like 90% success rate. Not doing any Typhlosions tonight. I've already done my grinding there. There's no reason to. Really, the like main thing that I would do it for is for Ghost Terra Shards, but I mean, I get plenty of those from this too. Alright, oh, wait, that's not right. There we go. What was this one? Bug? No, this one wasn't bug. The other one was bug that I tried. Oh, fighting. There we go. But yeah, if you want to do these raids, I mean, you're gonna be hard pressed to do better than Iron Hands, but I'm sure there are some better options. I know in the last stream, I think someone in chat mentioned Ursa Ring is a really good option. But yeah, basically anything with really high base attack and decent base HP, and then just stack up EVs, as in effort values, not the Pokemon, onto HP and attack, and just lay into this. But I mean, Iron Hands has pretty good HP, great physical attack, Belly Drum, and its ability lets it get bonus damage as well, or a bonus to its attack stat, I guess I should say. So like, it's kind of like almost made for this, I feel like. And as long as you have a couple of coverage moves, you'll be fine. Ooh. Wow, that wasn't even a crit. Dear God. That was a ton of damage. Oh my God. That was not super effective. No crit. And still took out almost all of its HP. Bump into a Harris Heller Stream Beats EDM playlist tonight. Usually I feel like the EDM one and like the drum and bass one as well are a little bit too much for, especially for breeding, but for something like this where we're just doing like raids, like it's a pretty good mix. Alright, I will have to do probably next week. Well, yeah, it depends on when we get our two Tori, our Blaze breed and our Aqua breed, but I do need to do some raids for Urban Mystica at some point again. I need to at least get probably 4. Because I think I'm going to go after Cloth, and then I'm going to start going after Dunsparce again. Because I want to get my shiny 3 segment. And I think probably what we'll do is like every couple of breeding hunts, or maybe every, if it's like a really long hunt, then just every like other, we'll just take a stream to work on trying to get shiny 3 segment to Dunsparce. Just to, like, break it up a little bit, so it's not always the same exact thing. And again, that'll be mixed in with event raids and stuff. We're really hoping either this upcoming week after these raids, or after the 14th when the Walking Wake and Iron Leaves raids end, is when we're going to get Pokemon Home updated. But, I mean, we've also been hoping that Pokemon Home would get updated for like 3 months now, so, you know, we'll see. It was supposed to be early 2012, or 2012, yeah, by early 2012, they only missed it by 11 years. No, it's supposed to be early 2023. I don't know why the fuck I said 2012, Jesus Christ. Early 2023 was supposed to be the date for it, and well, we're almost in May. If your thought process of early is the first half, then they have another 2 months to do it. God, if they take till June. I didn't see it said that, I thought it actually taken longer than this. But, the update for Legends Arceus and BDSP was actually in the May following Legends Arceus, so May last year. It was like, I want to say like May 19th or something. I thought it was actually in June. I thought it had taken even longer than that. So that, it really makes me feel like they've decided that 6 months is appropriate for waiting on Pokemon Home, which is absurd. Anything more than 1 month is absurd, but, you know, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, so what are you gonna do? I didn't see people saying that it seems like they're pushing back. They keep on pushing or delaying the update or whatever, which they've not said anything about it other than on Pokemon Day they said, yes, it's still coming, and gave us no firm date. But, like, people think there's, like, a major issue with it or something. I can't imagine what the issue would be. Like, again, the data structure for how a Pokemon is saved, maybe not exactly the right words, but I think it gets the point across. It hasn't changed since Gen 3, significantly. There's been some things added to it, but it's not had a significant change in over a decade. Over 2 decades, probably closer. Like, and, you know, Pokemon Home is, it should have, like, most of what it needs, right? It just needs the new Pokemon added. It's not like with Legends Arceus where they had to figure out how they're going to handle that stat conversion. It just, like, I can't imagine that they're having an issue. It just is intentional, really. Or, you know what, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe it is an issue, because it is, I believe Ilka is primarily in charge of Pokemon Home. And, well, we saw how BDSP was. So, like, But, I mean, if we get it at some point, man, I'm, like, not... Like, I'm, like, super disappointed, but at the same time, what the hell am I gonna do about it, you know? Like, there's... Nothing can be done, which sucks. And Game Freak knows it, the Pokemon Company knows it, I know it. I'm not gonna do shit. It's not like I'm gonna be like, you know what, I'm done with Pokemon. You know, the vast majority of people who give a shit are gonna stick around regardless. Now, of course, they could just do the update in a timely manner and then not be losing basically anyone. That's an idea. A wild idea, I feel like, for the Pokemon Company, but here we are. Hey, fairy, nice. We'll get some fairy Terra shards finally. I would kind of like to have at least maybe 100 of each Terra type. I have no idea. It's red eyes, right, when it's not shiny? Yeah, so it's blue eyes when it is shiny. Okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. I'll be running away. As I don't need a Charcadet. But yeah, we'll see. Would really love if they ever release the Gen 1 through 3 games for Nintendo Switch Online. Or just in any capacity. Again, like, that's the thing. I know it was because it was in the shadow, but that Haunter that I saw for a moment there was very oddly colored. And I did confirm on my my stream dashboard that I did see it. So I'm not crazy. Not completely crazy yet, anyways. But yeah, that was weird. It was like, it looked like the complete wrong color. Like, it was in the shadow, but it looked like it was very green. But then it disappeared, so I don't know. rubbing my nose and I hit my microphone. Yeah, just belly drum. I guess we'll Thunder Punch here. Because I don't think fighting is going to do anything. Or not do much anyways. It'll do some damage. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I feel like this move set is pretty much perfect for these raids if you're just trying to grind them. I think you could probably get away with trading out Drain Punch for it's just something that will have a little bit more coverage. But like, I don't think it's a big deal. My bad. Whoops. I hit the mute button on my microphone because I could feel a burp coming. And the problem is it's just like a touch sensor button on the top. And I tapped it and it was just holding my finger there to unmute it, but I, like, for some reason just like ended up tapping it again. Like I didn't pull my finger back far enough. My bad. So instead of muting, I just ended up not doing anything. Alright. Let me just double check my items here. If I get too high on the larges, if I get like over 900, then I will probably go and sell them real quick. Let's go check this. It could be Ditto. I'm actually not sure what I did with my Magikarp. So if it is a Ditto, I'm going to have to find that real quick. But, I mean, again, it probably won't be. Yeah, Tauros, no thanks. 6-star raids are not easy. If you have, like, a good setup for it, then they're not too bad. And I feel like you could probably just, like, have a setup for each 6-star. Sorry. Have a setup for each 6-star. Just, like, have a Pokemon dedicated for each one. Because it is just pulling from a spawn pool. We know what the spawns are. Although, actually, I guess that kind of doesn't help, right? Because the Terra can change. Well, if you want to go real crazy with it, you could still have a setup for each one, but that is a lot of Pokemon you need to build. Okay, that's just slacking. I, like, ran past it, didn't think about it at all, and then realized, wait, what the hell was that? But yeah, you do basically need a level 100 maxed out stat Pokemon. And it needs to be like a good one to take on the 6-stars. So kind of like the 7-stars, except they're a little bit easier, just like in general, because they have slightly less HP. And I think they're slightly lower level too. I think they are level 90 instead of level 100 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like, they're still pretty damn difficult. The only difference really is that the 7-stars basically demand a, like, specific build for it. Whereas the 6-stars, it's like, you know, there's some general builds that'll cover a lot of them. Another fairy raid. Very nice. I didn't realize until just now that it was, but that's perfect. I need more fairy typing. More fairy type Terra Shards, that is. If we could just get some more fire. Like, the worst part of these raids is how long you have to wait sometimes in between attacks. Sorry, just sending a message real quick. Alright, Thunder Punch it again. When in doubt, punch it in the face. Probably not good general life advice. I feel like you might get in trouble if you do that, but for fighting type Pokemon, it works pretty well. There we go. I really wish there was a way to turn off the move animations. We could do that in previous games, but this game they decided to take that away. Though, I do strongly suspect part of that is it would end up breaking the breaking raids. Because it's partially because of the whole like the timer mechanic, which is still stupid and they still need to get rid of. I mean, they won't. They're not going to make that dramatic of a change in this game, but doesn't mean I can't wish that they would. But hopefully in future games they, like, don't. It just doesn't work very well. I don't know. Because the thing is, it still ends up being turn-based. Like, if you don't do anything, if you don't make a move, the opposing raid Pokemon won't do anything either. They'll just sit there. And your team won't do anything either. They'll just sit there. In single player. Multiplayer, I think if anyone moves, it, like, the raid Pokemon is capable of taking... maybe, I forget. There's some strategies around, like, kind of screwing with the turn order, but... But yeah, and when you're playing with the AI, if you don't use a move, nothing happens. So it's just like, what is the point of having this timer mechanic if nothing is happening in any sort of, like, real time? You know? It's just like, why? And then so many times you end up just, like, waiting. And it's like, okay, am I going to get to make a move ever? Because sometimes they get to make multiple moves during the same turn. And it's just, like, at least when it was turn-based in Sword and Shield, it was... You knew when the turn was over, so you were going to be able to go again. Whereas this, just, you know, you just don't know, I feel like, sometimes. And it's really annoying like that. But also, I mean, it's stupid that, like, you can lose because of long attack animations. Like, I remember seeing someone on some Pokemon subreddit mentioning that Pokemon like Greedent that use multi-hit moves like Bullet Seed. I don't know if that was specifically a Greedent move, but, you know, moves that can hit like up to 5 times, and they have like decently long animations. Bullet Seed was like a specific one, I want to say. And it's just like, it's almost impossible to beat those Pokemon because they eat through all the clock. Because it just spams these moves that take forever. And it's just like, that's not fun. What are you doing? Like, I'm glad they made it so that the AI partners don't count towards your, you don't lose any of your timer when they die. When you go down, This is also something I don't like. You lose time, and then also there's a penalty where you have to sit there and just look at the screen for... It goes up by like 5 seconds every time. So it starts at 5 seconds, then it's 10, then it's 15, then it's 20. And it's just like, one, either give me the time penalty or... No, don't... Just give me the time penalty. Like, don't make me sit there and look at the screen not able to play. I assume it's because of multiplayer that they did that. But then, at that point, then, like, don't have the time penalty. If you're gonna have a, like... You know, sitting in timeout, basically, then don't also take a chunk of time out of the clock and then also have me sit there with it just draining clock. That's awful. That is so not enjoyable. Like, for single player, it should just take a chunk out of the clock and then you're right back out. And for multiplayer, it should have the timer to it, I guess, right? But not be taking a chunk in and of itself. Just like only bleeding what time you're not in the battle, because you are playing with other people. It's just, I don't like how they did that. But at least the AI, when you're playing by yourself, does not count against that at all. When the AI goes down, you don't lose any time. And in fact, the AI comes up pretty damn quick every time too. I don't think they have any sort of timeout. Close combat. How much we gonna do? Most of it's HP. I feel like there's gotta be some more variability to these Blissey than I realize. Cause yeah, I wonder if they just can have random stats. That might be it. But I feel like even besides like the RNG that there is with how much damage you do, it just seems like it has very... It seems like it's too random, or like the difference between the max amount of damage you do and the least amount is more than just your damage rolls. But now thinking about it, yes, it's almost certain that it just doesn't have a set stats. Because that's part of why the 7 stars are so predictable, because they always just have max IVs. They just have the maximum amount in every stat. Man, it just, you know, just deal with it. But it makes it a little bit more consistent. What is going on here? It has no HP, but now it's... But now it goes down. Okay. Ooh. I think I should probably save. Methinks the game might be breaking a little bit. It is just raids there too, so... Let's go ahead and save. Let's get that out of the way. What we got up here? Got these two. It might just be just as easy to go from the top here. Oh, Blissey on. Alright. I think... not quite sure. I need to wrap up at some point. Again, I do need to set up breeding and stuff for tomorrow's stream. So I might make these last 2 that I do, or I might just ignore that and keep going for another 2 hours. We'll see. But might wrap up here in just a moment. But we'll do these 2 at the very least. I feel like we're not moving very fast. I think just because the FPS was extremely low, that might just be it. All right. all night. Hold on a second. There. I don't know, I've just felt like all night my VTube model is like off center, but it like I keep trying to double check it and it's fine. I think the problem is I have the problem of like on OBS, I look at where my model is, but because the model is in the top left of the screen, it looks like it's looking off to the side when it actually it's fine, because normally when I'm looking in the center of the screen, I'm just looking in the center of the screen. Anyways, I don't know. Alright, Thunder Punch. This might be a Oko. Yep. Yep. Water type. I feel like we haven't seen a water type Blissey tonight. The thing is, because of how these raids are set up, you get plenty of water type shards anyways. Alright, don't catch. Let's go check this next raid. And then, yeah, I think we're going to wrap up. Yep, come on. What was that? That was... Oh, a Gyarados. That makes sense. I just saw that was something giant. It's a shelter. Oh, nope. Okay. God, the climbing... If you, like, aren't looking directly at your model while you're climbing, it just acts so weird sometimes. Alright, let's knock this one out, and we'll wrap up. Because, yeah, I've been going for about 2 hours, so it's a good stream anyways. And, I mean, I think you get the point of what these raids are. Just run Iron Hands, max attack, max HP. Have Belly Drum, and then Thunder Punch, close combat, and realistically, another move for coverage would be a good idea. But Drain Punch will work just fine. Or, I guess, you're not really going to use Drain Punch very often, so Thunder Punch and Close Combat by themselves are good enough. So this is Dark type. Oh, we are going to Oko the hell out of this thing. Very nice. Watch me not one-shot it now. There we go. That's a lot of damage. Alright, let them go free, because I don't need it. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap up there. Yeah, just, it's a very, very nice little thing to grind. And again, if you download the data now, as long as you don't go online again, you won't replace these raids, so you can keep grinding this for a while. But yeah, thank you guys who watched so far. I do definitely appreciate it. YouTube, if you want to check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PanicosGaming. I try to stream every Wednesday through Sunday, typically around 2 to 3 hours a piece, and usually starting around like midnight-ish. I've been trying to start a little bit earlier this week, but there's only so much I can do when I don't get out of work till late. But yeah, typically, usually a lot of shiny hunting. We are getting into doing a lot of breeding moving forward here, but like I've said a couple of times, I'm going to figure out how to make that a little bit better to do on stream with how this game works with that. But yeah, also playthroughs. If they ever put the Gen 1 through 3 games on the Switch, we'll do playthroughs of those, and occasionally little other games mixed in as well. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching. I do definitely appreciate it, guys. And I will see y'all next time.